The first time I met a Zerthian, I almost dropped my medkit, standing there, nearly 3 meters tall. Its iridescent skin shimmered with patterns I couldn't even begin to describe. 8 arms waved around in a frantic, desperate dance, and its mandibles clicked in what I could only assume was extreme distress. "Make it stop. It itches," it bellowed, its voice rumbling through the entire infirmary. The translation collar on its neck squawked, spitting out garbled English words with a metallic rasp. I had to take a deep breath, just to steady my own nerves. I'd treated countless humans, but this was my very first time with a Okay, I said, trying to sound a lot calmer than I felt. "Can you show me where it itches?" The creature twitched violently, and 4 of its arms flailed toward its torso. The skin rippled like liquid metal, forming these shifting, pulsating ridges. Here, everywhere," it shouted. I blinked. That wasn't exactly helpful. I'd studied Zerthians in textbooks, of course, as much as anyone could before we made first contact, but their anatomy was, well, alien. Their skin wasn't just skin. It was this semi-organic lattice that could conduct bioelectric signals, and apparently, it could also itch like crazy. "All right," I muttered, kneeling down to get a closer look. "Let's start small. Can you just isolate one area for me?" The Zerthian growled in frustration, and then pointed with 3 arms toward a glowing patch on its left shoulder. I leaned in, peering at it. The lattice was shimmering, pulsing with colors I couldn't quite name. "Looks like a dermal irritation," I murmured, more to myself than to the giant alien towering over me. "What is it? Can you fix it?" it demanded, its mandibles clicking impatiently. I forced a smile. "That's what I'm here for. Just try to relax. Please." The Zerthian exhaled a stream of violet gas, its version of a sigh. I figured done. "Let me get closer." I carefully took a scanner from my medkit and waved it over the irritated patch. Tiny readouts started floating in my HUD. The readings were strange. Rapid nerve signals, minor inflammation, and a trace of pollen. "Pollen," I whispered, baffled. "Are you telling me your ship flew through a planet's atmosphere that had flowering plants?" The Zerthian clicked indignantly. "It is not my fault. The winds carried them. They touch me. They burn." I couldn't help but let out a little chuckle. Like on Earth, humans always joked about aliens being delicate, but here was this massive, interstellar species, reduced to a sneezing, itching mess over some simple plant pollen. If that wasn't a quiet victory for humanity, I didn't know what was. I got to work, preparing a topical treatment gel we humans used for severe rashes, which I adjusted with some alien-compatible compounds from my kit. The Zerthian's eyes widened as I gently smeared a thin layer of the cool gel over its shimmering skin. "It feels—" It trailed off, its mandibles clicking in a rapid, almost surprised succession. "Better. Much better." "You're welcome," I said, standing back to give it some space. It should stop itching entirely in just a few minutes. The Zerthian lowered 4 of its arms in a gesture that, from my limited understanding, was a bow. "Human. You have strange hands. Gentle, precise, and yet so tiny." Its mandibles clicked again, and this time it sounded almost like it was chuckling, but they work miracles. I just shrugged. Years of practice, and maybe a little stubbornness. It regarded me thoughtfully for a moment. "Humans, you are odd, small, fragile, yet capable of fixing what giants cannot." I couldn't help but grin. "That's exactly the point, isn't it? We weren't the biggest species out there. We definitely weren't the strongest. But humans had ingenuity, we had patience, and we had this touch of stubborn cleverness that even the universe's largest creatures sometimes lacked. Think of it as human magic," I said, half joking. The Zerthian emitted a series of low hums which, I soon learned, was their version of laughter, and its skin, finally, settled into calm, peaceful patterns. Perhaps We underestimated you, it rumbled. Perhaps humans are not just fragile. You are remarkable. I packed up my med kit, feeling a warmth spread through my chest. It wasn't just the praise that was nice, sure, but the truth was deeper than that. Out here, light years from Earth, humans could do what others couldn't. Sometimes that meant outsmarting massive predators. Sometimes it meant negotiating complicated peace treaties. And sometimes it just meant stopping a giant alien from itching. As the Zerthian lumbered out of the infirmary, its 8 arms finally at rest, I realized something profound. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't our size, or our muscular, or our firepower. It was our ingenuity, our empathy, and our simple ability to make life better. One small, precise action at a time. And maybe, just maybe, that was enough to make the entire universe take notice. Thanks for listening to this story. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and subscribe for more Tales from the Stars. See you next time.